Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and we've got a bit of a fun topic today, a bit of a different type of video where Plarium have asked a lot of the content creators to dive in and do a video on the Demonspawn, and there's many ways we can do it. What I'm going to do, and if you are a new player, hopefully this will be very helpful info to you. If you're a long-term player, let me know your thoughts and what you'd include as well. I'm going to go through all the, well, we won't do mythical, but we'll go through legendary, epic, rare, and uncommon, sort of. And I'll talk about 3 champions that are worth knowing about and considering in each of the rarities to give you like an overview, a couple of niche picks, maybe unexpected ones, and yeah, let's see and why they are good and how you might use them. For uncommons, simple enough. Don't even think about building any of them. For the rares, yeah, there's definitely 3. There's arguably even 4. I'll call out Fellhound first. Fellhound is kind of infamous. Why? His A1 is an AoE attack. Now, what is special about this is it has one of the fastest animations in the game. So, if you build him with decent stats, he can actually come in to Brutal Stage 12-3, and he can do it incredibly quickly. And that's sort of the special thing that he's good for. He's not really used for much else. It's kind of just that. But yeah, it's just the speed of his animations. I'm using Thor here simply because Thor is cool. I actually usually run Nightmare campaign. We can see Thor is a little bit slower, like 10 seconds. He can do it a bit faster. Let me see if I got Fellhound built up. Here we go. We've got Fellhound ready to go. Also crucial that he has an aura, which means you don't get the box popping up saying use the champion with an aura. But you'll see with Fellhound, he just has these nice snappy animations. Now, I'm recording right now, so it's a bit slower, but you can be even faster than this. You can get like 5 seconds or so. He is just the fastest. The key thing with Fellhound is you need to build him with enough damage that he will kill the waves in one hit. Otherwise, he starts doing his other moves, which you don't want to do. But yeah, that's what he does, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a luxury thing. You don't really need this, but if you're going to be farming lots of campaign, it can save you some seconds. And yeah, the gear requirement isn't too crazy either, so it's something you can do. The next one is Diabolous. This is a maybe, I think like Fellhound, this is a maybe you build, maybe you don't. I'd say Fellhound is what I would call a luxury build. Really not essential, but can definitely speed up your farming if you want to. Diabolous is a champion you'd build if you haven't pulled better options, I would say. So she has an AoE attack that puts increased speed on all allies. And then on her A3, she fills allies' turn meter and decreases enemies' turn meters. This is one of the best skill setups in the game. Her A1's not particularly important, to be honest, but it's just incredibly strong. Speed is the best stat in the game, and speed makes your turn meter fill faster. Her manipulating both your turn meter and the enemies, it just helps your team take so many more turns and is crucial to many, many areas. Now, like I said, this is really important. There's many champions who do this better than her, but you can farm her from campaign. You can get her from campaign. You can get copies of her from campaign to upgrade the skill levels. So she is a guaranteed way to get this sort of champion, and that can be very helpful. And the big thing that makes her especially worth considering, a base speed of 110 is absolutely crazy, particularly for a rare. It's ridiculously high. The higher your base speed, the more gear sets you have on that are giving you percentage speed bonus. Like a speed set gives you 12% speed. That goes off your base speed. If you got a speed aura, that goes off your base speed. So higher base speeds let you go significantly faster. So yeah, 110 is near the top. I think 115 is the top. 110 is very close. Like if we look at some other examples, like she's 89, for example, Marquez, she's also pretty good. Like we can see, he's pretty fast, but most other rares are sub 100. You know, like poor old Fellhound there, he's 92. She's almost 20 speed baseline faster. It's crazy. Then the final one I want to call to, I would give an honorable mention to Marquez as a decent damage dealer. Very optional. Then Abyssal, I think Abyssal, very useful for faction wars in particular. Gives you the small versions of increased attack and increased defense. But he's got a heal for your whole team. Again, it is small. He's only a rare. But it's solid, and this can be enough to keep you alive. The Demonspawn faction tends to be fairly lacking in healing. It's quite difficult to get. There are some key champions like Withier or Duchess that are very good at it, but not that many. Or Preva, who's new. There's not too many, though, so you can struggle to actually get some healing. He gives you that, but then he has an AoE attack on his default skill that goes up to, when it's booked up, a 30% chance of placing block buffs. Block buffs is incredibly useful for faction wars, and an AoE A1, which means you can do an attacks all enemy attack every single turn. If you put him in a stun set or a provoke set, if you've been watching my Faction Wars Hard series, you'll know we are using these sets like constantly. A stun set, you've got a chance to stun whenever you hit an enemy, or whenever you do an attack against an enemy, I should say. Multiple hits in the same attack don't increase the chance. So like his AoE A1, he can just do an AoE attack, hit the whole enemy team every turn, and he's getting a chance to stun each enemy individually every single time he does it. And you can up that chance at masteries and stuff. So he's well worth considering. Can be very helpful for Faction Wars for the Demonspawn. Then we come to the epics. There's two here that are absolutely must call outs, and then I'm going to go for a spicy pick. So must call out number one is Umbral Enchantress. Her downside, low base speed. But what does she bring? Well, we talked about the 30% chance for block buffs on Abyssal being good. She has a 100% chance of block buffs for 3 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. This is insanely, insanely strong. Very, very good for Faction Wars. Very good for the Hydra clan boss, where you really want to stop it getting buffs. Because she is Void Affinity, she won't weak hit, right? And weak hits will stop you from placing these debuffs. She will weak hit against Poison Cloud, but you should get block buffs up to stop the Poison Cloud. It's one of the purposes of it. This is brilliant, but it's really her next move, Undying Evil, that's even better. It's an AoE attack with a 100% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 2 turns. This is incredible. It puts block active skills on her for 5 turns, and you can't stop it, you can't block it, resist it, you can't remove it, so she will get this on, but it does reset between waves. So when we kill wave 1 and we run on to wave 2, that debuff is gone. So in particular for Faction Wars, for example, you might provoke wave 1, wave 2, deal with it another way, and then when you get to wave 3, the cooldown will be gone and you can use this move again. And why is this so strong? Even many legendary champions only have, even mythical champions only have 1 turn of provoke or 1 turn of stun. 2 turns of provoke, 2 turns of any hard crowd control is incredibly strong. And this is on an epic, which is just incredible. And again, because she's Void Affinity, no affinity problems. Yeah, so she's just insane. Allure is the other one that you have to call out. Her moves are okay, but it's really her default attack that's so special. 3 hits at random and decreases the target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. You'll learn fairly quickly looking at champions in this game that potential 75% turn meter decrease on a single move is by itself incredibly strong. More typically, really good turn meter depletion champions have it on like a 3 or a 4 turn, maybe even a 5 turn cooldown. They're usually on very long cooldowns. She has it on no cooldown. Every turn she can do this. It is 3 hits at random, so that can go against you, of course, against waves. But when you get to bosses, so Fire Knight in particular, and the Dark Fae, they are 2 very difficult bosses that are much easier if you can stop them from taking turns. And every time she takes a turn, she can push their turn meter back by 75%. So if you have her, I don't know what, like 33%, someone could do the maths. If you have her like 33% faster than the boss, they'll just basically never get a turn because she'll keep pushing them back pretty much the whole way just by herself. Obviously on hard mode and stuff, the bosses have like a 50% reduction to turn meter, so you have to build her a bit faster, but totally fine. Doesn't work for hard mode Fire Knight anyway, but stage 25, yeah. Anyway, that's Allure. She's really good. Then the spicy pick. I know YST is a huge fan of Skimpost, and I am as well. I think he is very underrated. This is a champion you're not going to hear much about, but I think he's incredibly good, especially if you don't have Allure. He's insane. This is an example, 3-turn cooldown, but transfers all debuffs from this champ to an enemy, and then steals 100% of the target's turn meter if the attack is critical. Stealing is obviously better than just depleting, because then you gain the turn meter as well. So this is on a 3-turn cooldown, but because he's stealing the turn meter, his next turn comes much faster. So this is more like on a 2.5 cooldown or something like that. So it's surprisingly good. And his default attack is A1 is 2 hits. The first hit goes up to a 45% chance of decreased speed, and the second hit can also decrease their turn meter. So again, it's the perfect 1-2 punch for controlling bosses like the Dark Fae or Fire Knight. And then he does have an attacks all enemies, an AoE attack on a 3-turn cooldown with decreased attack, which is brilliant as well for clearing through waves, decreased attack to help you stay alive. It's great. He is very squishy, very low base health, but he can do really good damage and bring really good control. He also will self-buff if he has enough debuffs, and he'll heal up as well, which is pretty clutch. So I think Skimpost is super underrated. Next, we come to, well, finally, we come to the legendaries. We won't talk about the mythicals. You can get Carnage eventually from the Cursed City, but it will take a couple of years playing the game to get him. But he is phenomenal. Absolute monster in arena. Lots of areas in the game. He's a monster. For the legendaries, let's go. Let's go for a guaranteed champion first, and that's going to be Authoritrix Lamassu. You get her from the Siege game mode. It will take, again, several months to get her, but she's one of the best champions in the game. 115 baseline speed is incredible, and then the 24% speed in all battles aura. For Siege, this is the second best speed aura. Normal arena auras, which go higher in speed, like Arbiter, has a 30% speed in arena, does not work in Siege. You have to use all battles auras. There's no Siege specific ones, at least not yet. 25% is the best. She's one below that. It doesn't really matter. Like, who cares about 1% too much? So she's insane. Incredibly fast. But then her toolkit is ridiculously good as well. Icon of Domination. This is the game-changing one. Removes all debuffs from an ally. Gives them 2 stacks of Intercept. Intercept will block hard crowd control. So stuns, sheep, freeze, whatever, anything like that. And will also fill the allies' turn meter by 50% and reset the cooldown on all of their skills. So Arbiter, for example, gives everyone 30% turn meter, which is really good. Now, she can go, if you're, if she's faster than the enemy team and they're not protected by like Stone Skin or big shields or something, her turn meter fill is so strong, 50%, you can have almost any champion instantly take a turn. So, hey, the enemy, they're all under Stone Skin. Well, I can shoot my bomb champion up and he can just wipe them out with bombs. They're not protected by Stone Skin. I can shoot my damage dealer up and bam, just kill them all before they can do anything. Yeah, there's lots you can do with this. You can also reset champions against bosses, event dungeons, clan boss, whatever. Insane. Then her A2 is AoE block buffs and 2 turns of True Fear. Incredible. If it's a boss and they're therefore usually immune to True Fear, she does block buffs and AoE decrease speed instead. Great. Her A1 is a 70% chance of decreased attack. 3 different debuffs. She herself's immune to sheep, and she also will permanently decrease enemies' resistance and accuracy whenever she places debuffs. And she also pushes their turn meter back. So you've got incredible AoE control. Got incredible AoE debuffs for bosses as well. Block buffs, decrease speed, decrease attack are typically core debuffs you always want to bring. But then she's also absolutely turbocharging a champion of your choice. I mentioned type damage champions. You could also go, ooh, my champion who can increase enemy skills. Just shoot them up. Or I've got a champion with 100% chance to stun or provoke, like an Umbral. Oh, let's just shoot them up, right? Let's say we put Umbral. Umbral can AoE provoke wave 1, and then we go into wave 2. Lamassu, bam, just reset her skills, shoot her up, and let her go and provoke them again. And it's just incredibly versatile and super fun to play with. The next, this gets tricky now with the legendaries. Who are the other ones to call out that are definitely worth knowing about? This very tricky. I will call out, certainly Helic is worth mentioning, certainly for new players. He comes out with block damage on all allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So he has it up 50% of the time. You can, with the right speeds, and you can check out, for example, deadwoodjedi.com, and there's plenty of videos from people who will do this. You can build teams for Demon Lord Clan Boss with Helic that just won't ever take any damage, and it makes it very easy to progress through that boss. And it's also very helpful for Arena, very helpful for Faction Wars, very helpful for several dungeons. Going in with block damage, I'm able to get through. Now, he also brings a massive shield on a 3-turn cooldown. So you've got the double up effect, right? Even if it's a bit awkward for you to build that specific team around getting block damage up at the right time, he also brings a massive shield for people, which will also keep them alive. So he's phenomenal at keeping your team alive. He'll be counterattacking as well, which is nice. And yeah, he can place Weaken on his A1. So he can do he can do a sneaky bit of damage too. He can be quite a good damage dealer, constantly doing counterattacks when allies are hit with block damage. So yeah, keep your team alive, do good damage. He was at one time, I think, regarded as arguably the best fusion of all time. I wouldn't say that's true anymore. Probably Newt still holds that honor. Arman's up there as well. I think Newt still takes it from the dwarves, but Helic, pretty great. And then, who do we pick for the last one? It is tough. This is very tricky to know who to pick. You could make an argument for any of them. Let me mention probably Prince Kymar would be the most important one to know about. He does have that 30% speed in arena battles aura, but crucially, he has a full reset of ally skills. And that is incredible. And any champions that can do this or reduce ally skill cooldowns are typically incredibly high value in this game. Immar has one of the best ones because he fully resets the skills. So this skill itself is exempt. Perhaps a bit of a tooltip, not being clear enough, it really should say. But yeah, fully resetting the skills is incredible. So champions who have long skills, great, fully reset them, no problem. Why this is so strong is it sets you up for building specific teams, particularly for dungeons or Doom Tower stuff, farm content, that content you want to kill over and over and over again to get gear, etc. He is insane because you fire off all your best moves, and then he just resets all the cooldowns, and you go again. Or you clear the first wave of the dungeon, then he resets, and you go again. And oftentimes teams, you'll use 2 of these reset champions with then 3 really good champions for just blowing up waves and bosses. And the 3 champions use their best moves, reset champion number 1, resets them for the second wave, do it again. You get to the boss, reset champion number 2, resets everyone, bam, they do it again. And it's fantastic. He's also very solid for arena and faction wars with this move, an AoE attack that removes all buffs and puts asleep. Asleep, they will wake up if you deal any damage to them, so this works better for manual play. But the AoE buff removal is very useful. Then he's got an AoE attack on his default skill as well that can put poison. So you can build him with 100% crit rate, and he'll be putting out lots of poisons. You could slap him in a stun set for faction wars, and he'll be stunning and poisoning and doing a crazy, surprising amount of damage. You can also remove buffs from enemies, put them to sleep, reset you when you want. Immar is one of the older champions in the game, but has sort of stood the test of time as one of the best. Duchess would be in a very similar camp there. But yeah, they're the ones I would want to call out. So there you go. Those are my 3 picks per rarity. I think the legendary is probably most up for debate. I'm curious if you guys do disagree with the epics. Maybe Magnor makes it in. I don't know. Let me know. But there you go. That's my overview of the rarities for the Demonspawn and Demonspawn deep dive. Let me know what you think. Hopefully it was helpful and interesting. And I'm curious what you guys think would be the 3 champs to call out for each rarity as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.